with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app. Your home smart speaker up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on?
What's going on? How are we doing this afternoon?
I'm feeling good.
You should be feeling good. We're all feeling good. Beautiful weather.
Oh, my
Great,
God.
great time of year for sports. You can't beat it, man.
I've got a question for both of you. Are you guys golfing still, or what's the golfing routine? Oh, obviously your shoulder you can't, but I mean, is everybody still golfing now?
Oh, yeah. This is prime time, man. This is prime time down the stretch. Like, this is exactly when you got to get it in. You got 6 weeks left. Weather's still beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy. I have not played a lot. I'd like to play more, but I'm trying. And sun still gets you, dude. Like, that's the thing. The sun still gets you.
Wow. I mean, I was talking to some of the parents at the pickup today for the kids, and, you know, one of the parents asked, you know, Noodles, are you golfing? And I'm like, well, I'm not a big golfer, but he's like, yeah, the guy shot 18 this morning. He's
there
like, why not? The
it's
weather
beautiful,
is beautiful,
man. Dude, it's like 30 degrees outside.
I know. The people are in the pool. It's T-shirt and short weather. It's baseball weather. I mean, hockey's right around the corner, as we see.
They're
but
on the ice.
Still,
we're getting live updates. It's officially who's playing on whose line season.
What's piqued your interest
favorite
so
season?
far?
Who's on whose line day?
It's the best. Well, even like Berube, day one's like, I'm not getting into this. Yes, Michelli was with Matthews today. We're waiting on Max to make a return. You know, Cowan was playing on a certain line. You know, it's day one. It's day one of camp. So I do think you kind of have to ease into it here a little bit in terms of where this is going.
Here's what I think with Easton Cowan. Tell me if you guys think I'm, barking up the wrong tree. I think he needs to start farther down in the lineup and just learn to play the NHL game. He's talented enough, and I think what happens is, he's got to settle into the NHL game. So he's got to learn to work away from the puck. Like, keep in mind, like, coming from junior to the NHL, it's a big jump, and there's a lot of details of your game that needs to be flushed out. In London, 2-minute shifts, do what you want type of thing, because they were such a dominant team, right? Here it's got to be really detail orientated. So he's going to have to use his assets. But I think, Chief should start him farther down in the lineup and just let him continue to kind of push people out as he progresses at the NHL level.
Yeah. And Domi not being there again, it's almost like a placeholder to an extent.
Sure.
That maybe that's where Michelli's going to play or Bobby McMahon's going to move around. It doesn't really matter. It's day one.
Yeah.
It's day one. They don't play a real game for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Right.
But these are going to be the topics that we're going to get into for the next couple of weeks. This is why you have a camp, to kind of flush it all out. And Cowan's out there, and he has every intention in the world to make the team.
Well, I think
as he should. No, can you guys see me now? Am I?
No,
good?
We can't. I don't know. Just talk. You're good. We can hear you. So it's all good.
I wasn't sure if he was on or not.
I
so
just
that's
hear
why
him breathing. Like, the breathing is outrageous. It's Tony Soprano.
His nose stuck up there.
I'm using the new system. I'm using the new system, and it just didn't trigger right away today.
It sounded like Tony looking for gabagool in the fridge, furious that someone ate the last smoked turkey. Like the breathing was.
So glad you said that, because I was like, this guy,
I was in full panic mode, reaching out for my phone, bending over. Boiler was hanging out. I'm like, I got to get this straight.
It did. It sounded like an animal. It sounded like a grizzly when they put a camera in a nest. Yes. And there's a grizzly looking for an old carcass that it left behind.
Yeah, scrounging around.
Just snout right up against the microphone. I was like, are we all hearing that, or is that just me?
Yeah. We heard it.
Easton Cowan, I lost my train of thought.
I wasn't sure either, Noodles, because I was thinking this. I was going to get more into golf and the weather, and I'm like, there is a grizzly bear that is distracting us here.
A grizzly bear.
But it's all good. It's all good. We can see you
ready.
now. It's great to see you guys. And you know what? Honestly, I'll be perfectly honest. The first day of camp line that I was really looking for was 97 in Edmonton. I was like, who's he playing with?
How are you today? How are you? Like, honest
Noodles,
to God,
I would have put his phone number up on Twitter yesterday if I were you.
Well, I was laughing because, the group text. What time did you text us both last night? About 9:15, 9:30. You're like, this might cause a problem or something. Like the headline, they put your picture. Right
picture of me is crazy. Like it's Mr. Serious, like hardcore, analytical radio guy picture, which it doesn't look bad. I just don't remember ever supplying that profile.
No.
Like I don't recall ever doing a photo shoot where they said, all right, give us your spiciest take face that we can place online, because they posted it on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, on the TSN account.
Yes.
Right, which has millions of people, including a lot of people in Western Canada and Alberta in particular, and the capital of Alberta
What
in
do
particular.
they have to say? I want to hear it. What do they have to say?
I try, like, the comment section, I appreciate it. I get it. People are going to freak out. I saw, like, the DJ of the Oilers was snapping on me in the comment section, which I found somewhat funny. I pissed off the DJ. The guy who presses play on Pink Pony Club hates my take.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't fond of it. But let me flush this out. Okay, if you guys will afford me the opportunity to flush it out.
Explain
the
yourself.
floor is yours. The floor is yours.
Okay,
Go ahead.
because I am going to make the case that the hotter take actually came from Noodles. Noodles supplied the hotter take than I did, because we came across this spontaneously. Yesterday we were talking to MJ and we were discussing the top 50 list, and we brought up that a part of the show this year, or part of the dialogue within the voting process, was predicting the points total for Connor McDavid. And Noodles, you said you had him at 151.
151.
151.
Now, I got aggressive. I actually had.
You think that's more aggressive than never winning a Hart again?
I thought I did have a little bit of buyer's remorse, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. Like, and the reason why, what's his career high? 150?
153. Look at my face. Yeah. Like, look at that picture. I want to punch that face. I want to drop kick that face, and it's mine.
It was awesome. Like, I love that.
It's actually a perfect picture for that. And now I'm being labeled. I'm the guy doubting McDavid.
You're
I'm the guy that hates on McDavid. So, okay, let me flush this out, because I put a lot of thought into it last night.
Okay, go ahead.
The Hart one I got to get to, too, because I might need that one back. I might need to throw that one out and try to pull the Hart back, because he could definitely win a Hart again. Yeah. His career year, Connor McDavid, best year of his career, 153 points.
Yeah, 65 goals.
He had 64 goals that year. It was the 22-23 season. He played 82 games, 64 goals. He's never had 50-plus. That was the same year Draisaitl had the most career points of his career. I think he had 128. Nugent Hopkins hit 100 points. Never done that before. Hyman had almost 90. And they had the greatest power play in NHL history. Statistically, they had the most efficient power play in history. Jay Woodcroft was their coach. It was go, 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 go. You're playing 25, 26 minutes a night. He was 25 years old, McDavid, and he finished with 3 more points than the threshold we're talking about here. Not 180, not 190, not 215. 153 points he had, 82 games. Everyone else had a career year, greatest power play ever, and he just passed it. His second highest point total is 132. His third highest is 123. He's been in the league 10 years. Once he's hit 150. Once. Yeah. He's only beaten 120 3 times. So I don't think it's outlandish to say I don't think he's ever going to do it again. On top of it,
but you're talking about points, not the Hart.
Points, yes. The Hart is different.
Points.
We'll get to that. The points I stand by firmly, and I really hammer it home with him playing with Mangiapane and Thomas Sek today. If Knoblauch's going to stick with Draisaitl on a line and Nugent Hopkins on a line, and I get Hyman will return, but he's not coming back until November, he's going into his 11th year. The regular season just doesn't matter as much. It just doesn't. He's hyper-focused on the playoffs and winning. It's an Olympic year. That's going to take up a lot of his energy. That's a huge moment for his career. Huge moment for his career. How does he play going into it? How does he play coming out of it? I'm speaking of McDavid. Right. And this contract, I don't know what it's going to do to him. Maybe it's a positive. Maybe it inspires him to crush the whole league. Is he capable of doing it? Yes, he's Connor McDavid. But there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of variables in play. So him hitting 150 again when he's only done it once 3 years ago when literally everything broke his way, I don't think that's that spicy. I really don't. I think it's spicier that Noodles thinks he'll do it.
Well, it's fair. And let me give you my background on why. And you know what? You make a great point. You actually lay out all the age, the years, all of that type of stuff, only doing it once. I just kind of broke it down as to I didn't think he had his best season last year.
No,
We've talked about it.
He would tell you that.
Mm-hmm. But we all know what he's capable of. You're right. As you get older, I don't think point totals matter as much as winning and being efficient. And you're right. He's not going out 27 minutes every night. It's going to be, if they manage their depth, which they do have depth in certain areas, especially down the middle of the ice, if they play RNH in the third line, then, yes, you don't have to play him 25, 26. Where I went with this, and the only reason being, is in my mind, I thought he had 150. I actually missed that he had 153. I didn't check the stats. So I thought 150, and I feel like this is such a pivotal year for him. It's going to be so noisy. The best way for him to shut people up is just dominate the league, because we're going to be talking about it every second of until he signs. We're going to be talking about different angles. Mm-hmm. Hey, look what he said. We were pulling words out the other day. Hey, he did that. And
Noodles,
what?
Every shift it's going to be, if he doesn't try in a play in the corner, they're going to be like, maybe his head's not in it.
How many times have we seen Edmonton struggle out of the gate, and the two of them, the camera pans to the two of them on the bench, and there's this just bitter beer face, these two tapping each other going, what the hell are we in here, or whatever, and they end up working it out. But my motivation from this was, I think there's so much noise about him, and you couple that with his lack of success last year as far as not winning the cup and not having his best season. I picked which I thought was a career high, and put one on top of it. That's the only reason why. Now, I could be way off on this, but I feel like he's going to have a great year.
McDavid. He's going to have great years. Of course he is. I mean, he's in his sleep. He's going to put up points. But I do – now, on the Hart thing, that was more, again, history-based. Like, Sid's won it twice. Ovi's won it 3 times. Lemieux won it 3 times. He's already won 3. It's tough to get 4. Like, that's your Gretzky territory. Like, that's what we're talking about, and it's very difficult to do it. Is he capable of doing it? Of course. He ends up with 140 points and is the best player in the league. He probably wins it. So don't necessarily, I guess I could go back and possibly soften that take. And that was more of a throwaway point. The 150 was the real point. But I will say this, everyone's put thought into the contract and stuff. Don't you think he's made up his mind if he's staying or not? Like, is there really a feeling that's just going to pop up? And don't you think he's made up his mind? I think, of course,
he's already made up his mind. Like, do you think Mangiapane is just going to go nuts in training camp?
Exactly.
And he's going to be like, that's my guy.
I think
he's made up his mind. It's a massive life decision. I'm not saying he hasn't made up his mind that he's staying. Maybe he. I'm not defining it one way or the other. I think he's made up his mind if he's going to be an Oiler beyond this year or not. And
I think there's a couple things that I've unpacked from his comments over the last, whatever while since he's been. The one thing that sticks out for me when he says, I need to know that this team, the team I'm with is going to compete for the next 3 to 5 years. Okay. So I think there are a few things that he needs to look at.
But Jamie, he knows that already. Like, it's not like he's like we just talked about. He's not going to survey Mangiapane out there and be like, yeah, he is going to be that guy.
I don't know why everybody's against Mangiapane. I think that was a really good signing.
No, but what I mean is he knows what's there as far as competing and doing whatever moving forward.
But what I'm saying is if you lay out the teams that he talks about that could win in the next 3 to 5 years, there's a handful of teams. There's really a handful of teams. And if you look at younger cores compared to older cores, like, his team would probably be, front and center because, Stuart Skinner's 26, Bouchard is 24. Like, they've got – it's not like they're an old team in certain areas because RNH is 30-plus, Hyman is 30-plus. And, you throw in fourth line centerman, I'm drawing a blank, 35 years old. They've got him at fourth. Yeah, no, what's it? Henrique. Adam Henrique.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ekholm's not young.
No.
Yeah, but again, he knows all this, and he's known it all for a long time.
But the thing is the point being is what do you have coming? What moves are you going to make? And if you look around the league, there's only a couple teams that check every box.
I hear you, Noodles. And again, that's assuming that that's actually the only thing that matters. And it's not lifestyle. It's not his family. It's not, raising a family somewhere in the future. Like it could be way more than that. It was with Marner. Marner clearly just picked this was the place. Now it checks off they got a chance to win. And Marner's different than McDavid, but it was pretty clear. He was like, I got the opportunity to go, and that's where I'm going, and I'm taking it. And again, if it's about winning, which I would have to believe is at the highest of the priority list, but it's not everything. And that's what I'm saying. He knows. He knows by now. I think he knows.
Well, I think
I totally agree. It's not like he's going to look around and training camp. Oh, now I kind of figured it out.
Right.
Exactly.
I think
he knew before he got on a bird to get out there.
I think this is going the whole season. I really do. But I also think that if he doesn't win there, then he will probably try and win there before something happens. I think
that's one of the key words, Noodles, when he says it's always been like I've always wanted to win in Edmonton. But he never says stay in Edmonton.
No, but the point being is it looks a lot different if he finishes the job this year. And I think all bets are off. But I think if he doesn't finish the job, he's going to try and finish it even in a short term. I don't think we're ever looking at an 8-year extension. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think it's going to be, if anything, a couple years and go, hey, I want to, give myself the flexibility of things. But he does want to win there. I do believe that. But I think he's going to try and, obviously wants to do it this year. And then
of course.
All bets are off.
And maybe that's it. Maybe just hoping they win and then he has the flexibility to leave. Maybe they miss the playoffs and he's got the flexibility to leave. But what if they lose in Game 7 of the conference final? Then what does he do? Then he's in a conundrum, right? Because then technically they've taken a step back from the previous 2 years, but they're still technically right there. You're right there. You lose in Game 7 of a conference final. I don't know. It's all conjecture at this point, but he's the number one player in the world, and his season's going to be fascinating. He's talked about scoring more goals. How important is that to him? Is it actually going to happen? Who's he going to play with?
When he does that, when he comes up with something that he's going to do, he always does it.
He generally does. He's capable of doing it. He's Connor McDavid, but it's added a completely different wrinkle to the whole season. Like day one, they're asking for updates. He's like, "There's no update. We're just on the ice and we're out there."
Why doesn't he tell him to stop asking? He can get the PR guy to say, "Guys, it's just not happening about the contract."
Well, you know what though? Listen, you've put yourself in this situation. It's your right. Sorry, you're going to be asked about it. It is going to be front and center, front burner every day of the week. I'm sorry. That's one thing he's going to have to live with is the noise. And he's used to it. There's been noise around him his whole career. And he doesn't seem like he's super comfortable around everything. But this has been created. This is him. He can quiet the noise by calling up Edmonton and saying, signing a 2-year extension at X amount of dollars, and let's move on here. Mm-hmm. He hasn't chosen to do that. So with his decision or lack of decision comes a very noisy situation. And he's got to live with that.
You think he's going to go the whole season?
I do. I'm sorry, but I do believe that this is going to drag out. Like you guys said, if he's made his mind up on something, what is going to change this year? Now, listen. This, Howard kid could be good. Mangiapane settles in. Thomas X 29. He's not a young guy.
He's not making a life decision based on those guys. That's not moving the needle for him.
I think you could sign a 2-year extension if you believe those guys can help you win. That's the difference.
Yeah, I guess so. But then what about the flip side of it? What if he determines they can't? That means he's guaranteed to leave?
I think he's given himself a flexibility when you say the words, everything is on the table. Everything is on the table. Let's see what your manager does in trades. Let's see how the progression of players come along.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Hyman, bad season last year. Needs to come back and hit the ground running.
Not going to be easy. He's missing the first 2 months of the year, a month and a half of the year.
Yeah.
It's tough when you miss camp and you're over 30 and I don't know.
I mean, you're painting that team like they're a last place team.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that at all, Noodles. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just this didn't creep up on him. He's known about it for 7 years, and he's choosing his words very wisely. I'm not naive enough to believe that guys they don't know what's going on, what's going to happen,
I think he's softening the blow. I really do.
Yeah.
But like I say, he wants to win there. I also think he's going, if he goes anywhere, it's south of the border. He's not going to want noise. He's not going to want anything. You talk about lifestyle, tax-free, all of that type of stuff.
Maybe him and Coop are buddies. Never know.
I look at it.
Never know.
I think he's a guy that, never know. I just think he's very calculated. And to me, I think this is going to drag on the whole season. Like that's maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's going to. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, why would it be different? I think that's safe money right now. Yeah. Like he's shown up at camp without a contract. Why would he sign in like a month and a half? Why would you do that now? Like, what would be the purpose of doing that?
Maybe that noise just gets too much, or he's like, hey, I've always wanted to be here. I just need to sort this out. But
possibly.
In the end.
Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
he had the best practice in a long time, though. That's good.
He did say that. Day one, but they had a great practice.
Great one. Best one they've had in a long time.
And Stuart Skinner's lost a lot of weight. Apparently he's lost like 25 pounds.
Well, yeah, but I'm sorry, you don't get marks for being in shape as a pro athlete. I refuse to, you're in shape. Really? You're making a bunch of money.
25 is massive. If that's accurate, that is a huge amount of weight. I don't see how it could be.
That would make him 200 pounds. I think he played at 225. That would make him 200. I thought Strutty told me he lost 10.
Okay.
Maybe that.
I was told 25, but don't hold me to that.
We'll give him 15.
Yeah, we'll give him 15. 15 is still a lot of weight.
It is a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight to lose, man. But he's a big boy, and it's a big year clearly for Skinner. All right, Craig Button coming up. Luke will join us Thursday night or tonight. The Jays lost today, so they've lost 2 in a row now. Yankees are playing Baltimore tonight. Jays have got 9 games left. They're still in the driver's seat. They got a 3.5-game lead on the Yankees. If the Yankees win tonight, they get a 3-game lead. Yankees have a very soft schedule, but the Jays do not have a crazy schedule. They do have Boston coming up next week. But, they're fine. They're making the playoffs for sure. It's just you'd like it to be as easy as possible, have a little party, punch your ticket, win the American League East, get that big break, settle in for the ALDS. And I still believe they will do that. But the last couple of games, they've made their lives a little bit more tricky to get to that finish line. So more on that still to come as well later this afternoon. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Sunday on TSN 1050. Your Toronto Maple Leafs kick off their preseason on the road versus the Ottawa Senators. Coverage starts at 3 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The Leafs live here. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. We got Luke Wilson in studio at 5. Bills, Dolphins tonight. The line has not moved. Bills minus 11.5. Al's brother and I, we're going to have to figure out where the moon stands tonight. Yeah.
You just hammer that. It's not even funny. It's a joke.
Now, there are some injuries, though.
There are some big injuries, yeah. Ed Oliver's out. Milano's out. Big injuries. Big injuries that could affect
Josh Allen versus Tua. That's all you need.
Yeah. McDermott versus McDaniel in Buffalo, short week. Probably
McDaniel's, right. Okay, we got to have a prop. You think McDaniel, if they get trounced tonight,
gone.
Go back to Miami.
Gone. Yeah, out. Bus ticket.
Gerard Gallant cab.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
If he's lucky.
100% tonight. So that and more in about a half an hour. Dear Hazy B in just over an hour. NHL camps have officially started. Here's Craig Button to help us set the scene for camps all throughout the league. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing good, but listen, 11.5, that's a joke. Just go all in there, Brian. I'll cover half your losses if you lose.
Okay. I don't think I need to be swayed too much here. I'm pretty sure we're leaning into the Bills big tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fairly confident
big injuries,
in that.
Yeah, the only big injuries are the entire Miami Dolphins organization.
Yeah, that's true. Like, honestly, you could go back and get almost anyone in their prime, and it would not make a difference because they're just going to get pumped tonight. But, yeah, it's fun to have hockey back. And, you look at it, day one of camp, I see Ovechkin's already got a lower body injury. A little bit concerned about that.
Doing what?
I don't know what he was doing.
Those sprints I told you about last week?
Bag skating last week and cutting it short.
Yeah.
But are you bracing for this to be his final season, Craig?
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am. And not for any other reason that I think that at the age that he's at, he's got the record that he goes out on a high. And, I think for Alex, you go back playing the KHL, play for a number of years, he might play as long as Yager and get paid millions and millions of dollars where he won't be able to make that same money in the NHL. And he's had a great career. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I am bracing for that, for this being his last year.
Mm-hmm. Craig, Jamie was talking about McDavid and Edmonton, and he thinks he's already got his mind made up as far as what's going to go down. Do you buy into that theory? And do you think Stan Bowman understands that theory or knows the theory?
Yeah, that's a good question about does he know the theory? I hadn't thought about it that way. Listening to Stan say, I take him at his word that he wants to win in Edmonton. Yeah, I believe that, players want to win wherever they're at. But I think last year, at the end of the year, when Connor McDavid made a statement that I want to know that I have a chance to win again and again and again. And I think that's where he's looking at it and going, am I better off waiting or should I commit? And, one thing that a manager can do or an ownership, oh, no, we're committed. Well, they're just words. Like, why wouldn't Connor McDavid, in my view, and I'm a proponent of, I'd love to see McDavid, Kaprizov, Eichel all hit the free agent market because I think it would open up the whole market and open up the whole NHL in a significant way. Now, that being said, if I'm Connor McDavid and, I know what I want to do, so my mind's made up in terms of winning, why wouldn't I wait? Why wouldn't I wait? Why wouldn't I wait to see if your actions can match your words?
Yep, I agree. I think you that's where I was going with the comment, Craig, and it was actually Hayes that said he's had his mind made up. I said he's still waiting on, what he needs to see from Edmonton and moving forward. But the comment stuck out for me, Craig, and he's been pretty consistent on it, is the opportunity to win year in, year out. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that is stood
big
out
ass
for
though
me.
Too, Jamie. Big year in, and not everybody is Florida year in, year out.
You're right. I think, but he's in a situation where they have been close, and that's the thing. Can they be close for many years, or is this a window where you've got 3 or 4 kicks at it and then you have to move on? That's the biggest challenge. So I think time is on his side, and he does want to win in Edmonton, but if he wins this year in Edmonton, I think all bets are off. So he's given himself a window and not forcing it. That's my opinion. I have no insight on that from anybody in his camp or anybody in Edmonton's camp.
Yeah, nor do I, Jamie. And again, you watch it. I mean, he's wired to win. You've heard me say this previously. The Edmonton Oilers have been in the Stanley Cup final the last 2 seasons. We know how great McDavid and Draisaitl are. And we all say it. I think they're greater than I've even given them credit for, because they've dragged that team deeper than I thought they're capable of going, just because of those 2 guys. And then inevitably what ends up happening, and this is where Connor's experience, I think, right now is really playing in to his thinking, is he knows where they're short. He knows as a player where they're short. I mean, you look at last year, they just felt, they were never winning a game at the end of regulation in the 6 games versus Florida. LA had them on the ropes and let them off the ropes. I think that Connor knows very well what he feels they need to do to become a Stanley Cup winning team.
But how does he start his checklist, Craig? When does he start saying, okay, that's what I wanted, that's better than – because he obviously doesn't have it yet, or he would have signed.
I agree with you, Jeff, and that's exactly it. So why don't we go back to last summer? And I think that's where the mistake happened. Broberg, Holloway, Fogle, Ryan McLeod. They had the depth, they had the weight, they had the size, they had what you needed to do to push. They went all the way to Game 7, despite falling behind 3-0. And I think that Connor saw it, and I think that Connor is going, we don't have that anymore, and I don't think they do either. And that's why I give 29 and 97 such high accolades of being how great they are to get the team as far as they can get them.
Yeah, and that does seem to be a pretty consistent conversation or debate. You know, have the Oilers done enough for him in 10 years? Yet, you know, I agree with your assessment. The two of them are so great. They've kind of dragged them there, but they have gotten to 2 Cup finals, Game 6 and Game 7. Like, if you're the owner, forget the GM, the president. Those guys have come and gone over the decade.
Cates has been back at his face.
Yeah, Cates has been there since day one. He's probably like, hey, you know, you got to Game 7 and Game 6. I mean, it's not like we're a lottery team every single year.
No, you're not. But when you're like, Connor's got a single-minded focus. I mean, so he's won the 4 Nations, whatever you want to put weight into that. His next goal is the Olympic gold medal. And then the Stanley Cup is the ultimate for Connor McDavid. I think what's fascinating, and fascinating might not be the right word, but interesting, is Connor McDavid is looking at this. He knows he's a top player. He knows he knows how great he is too. But he knows that there will be a little bit of tarnish on his greatness without a Stanley Cup. It's just the way it goes.
Yep.
And he doesn't want tarnish on his reputation.
No, 100%. Yeah. He's a hockey historian like everyone else that loves the game, that's played the game. He knows he's got to get one, and he's been right there. That's what's probably so frustrating, is they've been in back-to-back Cup finals, and he's not going to pull a Durant and go to Florida. I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't think he's just going to walk over there for a 1 or 2 year deal and try to pull off a cup or two and then, you know, take his talent somewhere else. So it's a big decision. And yet you look at, you know, the way the season sets up, everyone's technically tied in first place right now. And, you know, Florida's clearly the pace car.
Love that one.
It's such a great line. We're all tied in first.
Yeah, we're all at first.
Tied in first place right now. Although it technically tied last, too. You could, I guess, argue that. But how big of a gap do you see between Florida and the rest of the contending teams?
I think there's a little bit of a gap. I don't think you can say there's not a gap just because of what they've done the last 3 years. Stanley Cup final all 3 years, back-to-back Cup champions. But I don't think it's a wide gap. I think that everything that they have the ability to do is still in place. But other teams have improved their lot in life, too. And I look at the Vegas Golden Knights. I look at the Colorado Avalanche. I think they're more than capable. Tampa Bay, Paul Maurice said that might have been their toughest series last year. Whether you believe Paul Maurice or not, he's the one that said it. I think Tampa Bay is a really good team. Can Washington replicate what they did last year? I'm not so sure about that. But those are the teams right now, the 2 Florida teams, Vegas and Colorado, that I would put just a notch above everybody else. And Florida holding the top spot, those next 3, wherever they're at. Now there's got to be a proving grounds, obviously. We'll see where it goes. But right at this point in time, with everybody being tied for first place, I've separated those 4 teams.
Craig, it was, I think, a players' poll that came out recently or was talked about in the media tour. The players were saying they would love the old format, the 1 versus 8 in the playoffs. I mean, we haven't talked about it yet, boys, but, you know, I would love to see it. I don't know how you feel on it, if the league is just too stubborn in certain situations. They feel like they've had good matchups, but would you like to see maybe a different format in the playoffs, either expanded or just even, you know, change up to go 1 versus 8 instead of seeding within your division?
Yeah, like the expansion. I mean, there's so many different opinions on expanding the playoffs. I mean, we have an 82, about to be an 84 game regular season. I don't know if we need more teams to do play-ins. I think that the top team in a conference should get rewarded with the opportunity to play the lowest seeded team. I know what division is, and I know what it's done, but I'd like to see 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7. I think that rewards teams to a little bit greater extent going into the playoffs for having a really good regular season. And for that reason is why I'd like to see 1 versus 8.
with Craig Button. So Bill Guerin spoke on the Kaprizov situation today. And
what's he saying?
Well, he said, hey, we're trying. Like to paraphrase, he said, we're trying.
When's that going to be a trying to screw you?
Well, I guess, Craig, you can answer that one for us. When does it flip? Because Bill Guerin, I don't think of Bill as like a cool, calm, and collected guy all the time. How do you see this one playing out with Kaprizov in Minnesota?
Well, a couple of things. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do a little bit of rewind here with history. Bill Guerin was on the New Jersey Devils in 1995 when they won the Stanley Cup. And Bill Guerin, the reason he left the New Jersey Devils was that he got into a contract dispute with Lou Lamoriello. Lou Lamoriello said, "You're out of here." Mm-hmm. I mean, Billy was a really good player. Nobody's knocking Billy. I mean, he believed in what he believed in, and that's Billy Guerin to a T. I mean, he's not going to back down. They got Jason Arnott in New Jersey, and they won another cup. So there's nothing wrong with what happened there. But Billy knows when players dig their heels in what it's like, and I think having that experience will help him. I think the biggest challenge for Billy was when the owner came out and said, "Oh no, we feel really confident we're going to get this done." And I've been in negotiations where you come to that, "Oh yeah, we're going to get this done," and you realize, "Oh, we might be a little bit further away than we thought." And "Oh, we're going to get this done. We're going to offer them $16 million for 8 years," and you think that's the high bar, and the agent goes, "No, I don't think so." I think
what the hell is the number if that's not the number, Craig? Like, God.
Well, you're right about the number, Jeff, but I think it's about term. I think it's one of two things. He wants a shorter term at near that number, or he doesn't want to play in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the fear. If it's the latter, then it gets into, there's certain markets that fight this all the time. That you don't want to become the market where players don't want to be, or you can't attract superstars, you can't keep superstars. And unfortunately, Minnesota's kind of got that reputation. That's why it just feels so important for them to find a way to get this done.
Well, if they don't get it done in terms of signing him, then they got to do what the Quebec Nordiques did when they traded Lindros. Lindros said, "I'm not going to Quebec." Mm-hmm. And they went and got a whole bunch of really good young players. And I think you go to Kaprizov and his representatives and you say, "Hey, listen, we know you have a no move or no trade, whatever he's got. I'm not totally up to speed on what the exact details of it, but work with us. We'll get you to where you want to get to, but we need to work for our future here." And again, if a player says he doesn't want to play there, look what happened to Columbus. They had Bobrovsky and they had Panarin. They were a pretty good team. They made the playoffs. They had some promise there. And then all of a sudden, Panarin and Bobrovsky departed. Mm-hmm. And they left as free agents. And Columbus wasn't able to recoup anything for those two guys. And I'm not criticizing them for the decision they made in not trading them. You're a good team. You don't want to trade good players. But I think that's where Billy's going to have to evaluate where he's at. Billy made a bold decision a couple years ago when he bought out Suter and Parisi. I don't think that Billy gets scared like in the House of Horrors.
Right. With Craig Button, and within that division, obviously Winnipeg, they're going to be the pace car, you would presume, again this year, considering how great they were last year. And Jonathan Toews was out there with Perfetti and Nyquist today. Big theme on the show today is tracking the lines day one of camp, Craig. It's something we really thoroughly enjoy doing. But this is going to be a really cool story, and I'm curious what your projection is in terms of impact that you think Toews can and will have for Winnipeg this year.
I think the impact will be really significant, just because of his personality, what he's experienced in winning cups and being around it. Mark Scheifele's like a superstar in my view. I think he's a top-notch player. Adam Lowry, him and Anton Lundell, I think are the two best third-line centers in the league. So Jonathan has the front-end support. He's got the back-end support. Jonathan's not the same player he was when he was younger, but I think he can have a real impact just with his presence, playing on a second line with that type of front and back support with Scheifele and Lowry, and be a really good, strong player. I think he helps Luke Schenn. Luke Schenn doesn't have to be the only voice of somebody that's won a Stanley Cup in there. And I think Jonathan can just settle in and just be a really good, solid player. We overuse the term play the right way. But Jonathan Toews might be the poster person for that, just because of that. And I think that helps your team. I think it'll help Scheifele. I think that Jonathan Toews is not going to be afraid to, say, hey, listen, here's what we need to do, and we better start doing it now. And those moments don't just happen in Game 4 of a Stanley Cup playoff game. They happen at different points of the season, and Jonathan's going to be able to have his finger on that pulse when the time is to dial players' attention in. And I think that impact becomes really important for a team like the Winnipeg Jets, who are trying to find their way to the right side in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Day 1 of camps. We're on the ice, but a lot to talk about. We can't wait for a full season. Great catching up with you, Craig. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, for sure. Great to chat with you guys.
There he is, Craig Button, our Director of Scouting here at TSN, joining us on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Drive the built-in Canada fuel-efficient, fun-to-drive Toyota RAV4. Gas or hybrid models available. Visit mapletoyota.com. Yeah, all right. We'll see. Jonathan Toews, Kaprizov, right? Eichel's looking for a deal, possibly. Kyle Connor in Winnipeg looking for a deal.
Obviously,
of names McDavid.
out there.
Yeah, big name. And again, these guys, they have a year left. Like everything
They already
shifted.
have so much money already. Like,
But
I don't know. Saying they want a shorter-term deal is insane. Jack Eichel signed 8 times 10 already, and he wants a shorter-term deal. I get it. Shove it all in your jeans, but
I think it's just the flexibility of going to places too. Like I maybe I'm wrong, but like you can sign an 8-year deal and then go, I want to be traded.
Yeah.
Now what happens? You get traded to a team that you want to be strong, and they've got to pull some of the assets off of there to acquire you. I get that. If McDavid signs a long-term deal and has a handshake agreement, I want out, you move me the minute I want out. Well, whoever's trading for him has to give up a boatload for him. So your team is the team he's going to is actually, hamstringed by him. So I get it. I think nowadays, Hayes, you've been pining for this. Shorter-term contracts, lots of movement. We haven't seen much of it, but this might be the year we do.
It's, again, assuming they move. This past year, it was Marner and Ehlers moved. Those are 2 big names. Those are needle movers that moved. Next year, I kind of hope that happens. Although, again, another thing that's taken place and what Craig was just kind of laying out was the idea that Kaprizov will get traded somewhere that he wants to go and sign with. So he won't reach free agency.
Well,
and
it's not like the old days where it's like, go to a crappy team and suck on that. Doesn't work like that anymore.
Right. There's no more penalizing players that aren't doing what you want them to do.
Technically, Marner was traded, right? Like that's
sign and trade.
Thing.
Technically, it was a sign and trade.
Waugh is here because of him, right? Like
and he was out there today looking pretty good in Leaf colors, Nicholas Waugh.
But I think that's the thing you look at. You're right, just pure free agency. I don't know if these guys make it there, but they're going to make it interesting the whole year. I think it's going to be noisy.
We'll see.
I really do.
Luke Wilson in about 15 minutes on the Thursday night or tonight. The Jays losing earlier today in Tampa. They're off to Kansas City. 9 games left. 9 games left. They can't now clinch until Saturday. So more on the Jays and Anthony Santander hitting bombs and strolling it out. We'll tell you what we mean by that. We'll show you what we mean by that a little bit later this hour. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on the TSN app. All right, Luke, coming up, week 3 of the NFL starting tonight. Jays are off to Kansas City. Sounds like Trey Savage will start on Sunday. So he is going to get another start, which is a positive. You look great. First outing. Absolutely. Man, that creates buzz. Like, I've had a lot of stop and chats with people, obviously, about the Jays. They generally come up first these days. But
sometimes a guy just shows up when they got it, man. He looks like he might have it, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what you're hoping for. It's magical. Like, those type of stories, they show up for teams like this that are having an incredible year, that are going to go to the playoffs. You find some, your number one prospect comes up in September and finds some juice, and it becomes just an added element to an already, really positive scene.
My guy's Barger. Like, I that's a guy that I circle. I think he's unbelievable. Like,
he's a great athlete.
Young. Well, like you just said, like he kind of has it all. He's 25 years old too. Like I don't know. There's something about him that I really admire. He looks like. Remember I was saying before, you think Matthew Nyes just looks like a hockey player. That guy is just a baseball player, just a big, like strong arm, great defender, good bat. Like, I don't know. I really like him.
Yeah, he's been good. Yeah, no, he's been a really good story all year. And you look at what's going to happen come playoff time, and Anthony Santander is a guy that obviously is still a possibility, and I'm sure we can roll the video. He was down in Buffalo. He hit a home run today, and the exit velocity was significant, and he's switch hitter. He hits it right-handed. That's absolutely mashed. I missed that park, remember?
Yeah.
Remember Hyunjin Ryu would pitch his 5 innings and walk out of there?
Yeah.
Look how
Right out the back
slow
door.
this guy's running the bases.
Yeah.
41 seconds it took him to get to home plate.
Jeez.
What is he doing?
Dude, I love it. That's a nice strut, man. Come on.
No, it's not. Get moving. Let's go.
That's pretty
It's almost
ridiculous,
disrespectful
man.
to the other team.
It's basically looking down on AAA ball players.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically, get me out of here. I'm ready for prime time. I'm making $30 million. And you will, all of you will sit there and watch me
You
walk
think that's
around
mocking
the bases.
the other guys?
What other explanation is it?
I don't know, man. Some kind of cool guy vibe,
being
but
a
I don't think
hero
he's
or what?
mocking the other guys.
That 41 seconds to get around the bases, that's
what,
absurd,
That's
man.
what Big Sexy would take. That's what was his name again? Big Sexy. Bartolo Colon.
That is, I'll bet you Bartolo Colon. Go back and find his home run trot. He hit a home run
San Diego,
in San
monster
Diego.
shot.
That's right, to left
Monster
field.
shot.
To left field. I guarantee you he ran the bases in under 41 seconds.
Yes, I agree.
I guarantee it. And that would have been worthy of a 50-second trot. That's
Yes.
Cologne in the majors.
Yes.
This is Santander in the minors in Buffalo. Move your ass. Like,
Yeah,
get
exactly.
to home plate. Let's go here. People
I
are dying
agree.
to get out of here. We saw it. Good for you. Good home run. I think that's such an obnoxious trot.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
anyway, all right, we'll break down the tape. We'll compare and contrast Bartolo Colon to Tony Taters hitting a home run down in Buffalo.
Tony Taters.
So the Jays off to Kansas City tomorrow. You Savage again will start this weekend. Luke coming up on Bills, Dolphins tonight. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
If you smell what the
When Wilson
is cooking. Girl, you know it's true.
Very appropriate. Yeah, Nelly Vanilli, it's
Very
mandatory.
appropriate.
It's just mandatory.
The Monday Nighter, Partsy, what's up? They thought they'd get away from us Monday night. What an absolute! You guys tried to take the Raiders. I asked
just
Al's
shake-
brother. He said
Just
he was
shake
going to
his
take the
hand for
Raiders.
tonight. Shake his hand for tonight and say congrats and move on and let's talk about Monday night.
He
or
told me
something.
he told me he's going with the Fins off camera.
No, that's not possible. There's honestly this line could be I think 14.5. I'd take Buffalo.
What is it
tonight.
right now?
11.5. It has not moved.
That's
Which has been
Luke,
surprising.
what's the max
surprising.
you would take it at, Luke?
Max, I would take it at 14.5. And I would still feel bad. Let me be very honest. It was 14.5. I would still take the Bills, but I would be nervous.
Yeah.
Because then you
Big.
get into like,
Big spread.
you're up 21. Is it Trubisky's in? You're playing prevent. They get a greasy back door, and you're like, man, the hook just jammed us.
Yes. That's
You know.
the thing. It's a short week. They are desperate, right? Like there's lines out there for whether or not we're going to see Mike McDaniel ever head coach again after tonight. Which, that's pretty dark.
Does he get on the bird on the way back, Luke, or what?
Oh, man. I don't know. The whole thing, and I don't know if you guys – did you see – not only him, did you see the Tua interview talking about
Yes.
Josh Allen? And
Yeah.
he's just basically said Josh Allen's just way better than
Yeah, it was the Slovakian head coach from the World Juniors. He's better than us. He's better arm than us.
Bigger,
He's
stronger than us?
Swiss. He was a Swiss coach.
Yeah.
Sorry. My apologies. Got to make sure I get that right.
couldn't get over that.
Yeah.
And what's funny, like when I watched it, and I don't think he was, there's one thing about you're praising your opponent, but I'm like, the fact that Miami is 0-2 with a loss to New England of all teams.
At home.
The fact that your head coach is on the hottest seat in the NFL right now. The fact that you two are also, a lot of fingers are pointed at you. And it's not like you're some schmuck. Like, I think he was drafted 5th overall. Is that? I think
Yes, 5th overall, right ahead of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it's like you're a 5th overall pick from Alabama. the generational college right here under Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Like, you're not a slouch. This isn't, Josh Dobbs pulling in for an injured quarterback being
Right.
like, yeah, I got to find a way to beat Josh Allen.
Now, he's not wrong in his assessment. What you're saying is he should have more confidence. Like, why am I even talking about Allen? Like,
Yeah.
you can say, hey, Allen's great. It's going to be a tough challenge.
We're coming to either divisional game. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to happen. But if they come out here today and by some wild miracle win this game, again, I just said I would take the Bills at 14.5. You got to think now you're 1-2, and you just knocked off the best team in your division. If you could go on a run here, you're right back in the thick
Yeah,
of
that
things.
is supposed to be the spin.
Like, that's what you're saying. I'm not saying he is saying this, but as a competitor, you should be thinking that way.
Do you think there's a market for Tyreek Hill?
Not a big one. I think there is.
You think
I
Kansas
let me
City would go
rephrase that.
sniffing again on them?
They will.
Really?
Yeah.
Kansas City could sniff on Tyreek?
The issue is it becomes such like, how much do you want to put up with? And I always say this, in my experience, the NFL is a sliding scale, and perhaps hockey is a similar way. You'll put up with X amount of garbage when you get X amount of production. And the moment that production slides and the garbage doesn't slide down with it, or in worst case scenario, if the production slides and the garbage increases, that's when you're in the danger zone. And I think that's kind of where Tyreek is right now.
Yes, I think you're right about that. And that is exactly what happens in every sport.
Yeah.
You're willing to put up with a lot, based on the production.
Totally.
And based on how everyone else is doing. Like, is it a winning environment or not?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's got left. That's another question. Like, Tua's throwing ducks at this guy. There's some brutal throws.
The whole thing looks...
It's a disaster in Miami.
What's tough for me with Miami as well, let's just go to their offense, is on paper, like, here's a question for you. If you were to put Josh Allen on the Dolphins, and you're like, hey, Josh, you got Tyreek Hill, you've got Waddle.
Chain.
Correct. He hasn't done much yet, but when Waller gets healthy, I don't know where he'll be at. But it's like these guys have, you said, Achane, like they have some explosive weapons.
So what the hell happened to Tua then? If Josh could do it all with those guys, like, what are we dealing with here?
I mean, that's a great question. What gets weird to me for Tua, and you see,
Such a bad throw. Like, he missed him by 15 yards.
And
man.
what's tough is look at the time of the game.
Yeah.
Look at the time. They're down.
And Tyreek's
with-
like, get me out of here, man.
Yeah.
I'm done. I've had
Check,
enough.
please.
I ran an in route, and he missed me. I'm out.
Yes. And like that, again, right there, you're down 3, fourth quarter. And I get, like, that's something that's great with Tyreek is has he lost a step? I don't know. But he's still, even Tyreek losing a step is one of the fastest guys in the NFL.
Yes.
So it's like, push down the field, sit it down. They're playing zone coverage. Put that ball on my guy's chest, and it's a different ball game.
Right.
So Tua's kind of been out to lunch. One of the things I'll say with Tua when I watch him as well is he has a bit of, and I know there will be some Eagle fans that don't love this, but he reminds me, he's much worse, but he reminds me of Jalen Hurts a bit. Where, like, when I watch Hurts, I don't see him processing the pass game. It's very like, okay, here, pre-snap, this guy, correct. This guy should be wide open. Here's my matchup. Am I throwing it? Yes. Okay, I'm not throwing it. Now it's a bit of, like, panic mode. And that's with Tua right there. Like, even, I don't know if we can throw that thing back. But it's like, I always watch quarterbacks' head movement before the play, and I've done some stuff. Like Jordan Love, you'll see him go, like, 1 to 2 to 3. And then when you watch this play, it's like ball snapped, and you're just staring directly at Tyreek, and then you airmail it. It just...
Fundamentals are
It's
flawed.
not great. It's not great.
It's not great. You look at it, it's early in the season, but you can pick up on panic from a lot of different people, including Ben Johnson.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Okay.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
Ben Johnson, who's barely been a head coach for 2 weeks.
Yes.
He knows what he has.
I guess he does, but he called out the Bears for their practice.
Correct.
Like their what? Do we have that clip? See if we can find that.
The practice.
Okay, why don't we
and
play
the tight end one?
Let's
That
play
tight
it.
end
Okay.
one was nuts.
Here's Ben Johnson again. They're 0-2.
Yeah.
Not been a good start, but this is his first opportunity.
I can't wait.
No one knows if he's a good coach or not. And here's what he had to say about the practice habits in Chicago.
Are there guys that need to practice better too?
I think our practice habits are yet to reflect the championship caliber team.
What do you make of that?
Can I go on a bit of a rant?
Yes, please.
Sure, go
I
ahead.
go on a bit of a rant here. So when coaches come out and say things like this, to me, it's very, very situational. You know, what is the background of this coach? Has he won before? What has he done? If this is a guy that's been to the Super Bowl, you know, numerous times or has a pedigree of winning as a head coach, you give him a pass all day. He's been there. He's done that. He knows what it takes. Ben Johnson, albeit the Lions' offense was incredible, didn't even come close to I should say come close. The one year they got beat in the NFC Championship game. He's never been to a Super Bowl with the Lions. He's been here for 2 weeks, and it's looked like an utter abomination. They've been horrible. He was supposed to be.
He knows what practice habits are like.
So then this is my next question.
Isn't he responsible for that?
That would be it. It's like, dude, we're in week 2. The NFL is the same way as it is now, other than one game when I played. Meaning, you have 3 weeks of OTAs and mandatory minicamp. So, although it's not season, although you're not shoulder padded up, there is a extreme level of intensity, especially when you're on a bad team in OTAs. Again, I know it didn't work out, but I go back to my OTA time with Matt Patricia in Detroit. I remember walking off the field, those OTAs in Detroit, being like, wow, that was an utter bloodbath. We got bodies across, it wasn't physical. It was up-tempo, crazy amount of reps. He's like, I don't want anyone to have a sub, so we're going to do 2 separate fields. This was Patricia. Okay, and it's like, you want to come out of the game, there's no one to come get you. That's how you're playing.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was OTAs. Camp was an absolute war in Detroit. War. My family would come over from Windsor. They'd jump in Seattle once a year, come see me there, and they'd be like, dude, what happened to this guy? I'm like, we're in war right now.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Ben Johnson, we're in week 2, and you're like, I don't like our team's practice habits. That is your fault.
Right.
Like, that is no one's fault but yours.
Yeah, you're responsible for that.
And what was crazier is there's another clip of him out here talking about the tight ends. And he's saying, like, I don't really like the way the tight ends are practicing. And I'm like,
tell the tight ends coach.
Yeah. And secondly, you drafted Loveland in the first round. Did you not, like, a rookie is not practicing to the level that you'd like? I don't care where he's drafted. Like, did that not come up in your scouting report before you paid the guy a gajillion dollars and picked him in the first round? Mm-hmm. And then I laugh, like, you think Cole Kmet, who's an awesome player, has been in football hell in Chicago?
All they do is take tight ends in Chicago, too.
Yes.
Every year they draft the tight end.
And it's like, you think Kmet's really going to love that? Like, okay, I've been a great player in this league, in a brutal offense, in a brutal situation for a few years now, coming out of Notre Dame, and the first thing this guy does is show up and draft another tight end.
Yeah.
And then comes on and says, I don't like the way the tight ends are practicing.
You know what this guy's got Nathaniel Hackett vibes.
Yes.
Yes, he does. He's got Hackett vibes.
Here's where I worry, and I don't know if
everyone.
Where was he that we used to give it to?
He went to Denver, remember? And remember the first game he had Russ, and he's like, I'm going to try a 68-yard field goal instead of allowing Russ to go for 4th and 5 or something, and it was just all downhill from there. The disaster. He got fired after 1 year.
And here's where I wonder too. It's early. I'm not saying it's there, but if you're in that locker room, and I'm sure this happens in all sports, but it's like, and again, I go back when things are bad. I go to my year in Detroit and kind of things that happened there, and it was like Patricia came in and treated us all like trash, but all of us put up with it because we thought, hey, this is the Patriot way. We're gonna win. And then when Ben Johnson comes in right now, coming off the seasons he's had in Detroit, and he's supposed to be the savior, and he's got a little hubris to him, which I don't think is a bad thing. He's an offensive guru. He's going to get Caleb Williams right. He's going to right that ship. We bring in a dynamic tight end out of Michigan. We're going to have 2 tight ends. We got Oduze. We got DJ Moore. Yeah. We got Swift at running back. This guy's going to be the savior. And after 2 weeks, it's been brutal, and he goes and says, we don't practice like a championship team. Again, not direct shots at guys, but kind of being like the players aren't holding up their end of the bargain. He's going to lose the room.
Yeah. Well, they got the Cowboys at home this week.
I think expand on that, Luke, football-wise, like losing the room. Like, what are you talking about there? Does that mean the guy walks in and everyone's like, screw this guy, man?
Yeah, he's a fraud, and not like a joking fraud.
Like a real one.
That's what happened with us, was it's like, okay, we get treated a certain way, and you are under the impression like, hey, we're trying to win. We're trying to do these things. Like, I'm going to show up every day and put in the craziest amount of effort for the betterment of the team, and you buy into the messaging being sent. And then when you trade Golden Tate week 4, going back, and who's probably our best offensive receiver that year. It's like, well, the last 3 months going into offseason, we've been talking about how we want to win a Super Bowl, and we just traded our best player or one of our best guys, and that was my personal thing. It's hard to buy in. So when I say you lose the room, Partsy, and I'm sure, again, it's similar in hockey, but it's like when Ben comes in and is like, we're not practicing like a championship team. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. And then you start to feel like, well, what are you doing? Are you coaching like a championship team? Are you like leading the men out like a championship team? It's not really a conducive environment, especially in the NFC North, to winning ball games.
Right. Yeah, the Packers, they're starting to scare me a little bit. I saw one of their linemen, I think, today talking about
go undefeated.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we might go undefeated. I'm like, guys,
I love that, man.
I saw that.
I don't see anybody
like
beating us. I love it. I love it.
Sorry.
Well, there's a difference between I don't see anyone beating us and like declaring an undefeated season. I guess it's semantics, but like there's a line between cockiness and arrogance and self-assurance.
After 2 games, they
look great, but it's 2 games.
Yeah. I mean,
like, come on now.
The Lions
I love the way Green Bay plays. I like the way they're looking.
For sure. But the Lions win is a statement win. I get that, and Micah's obviously been humming around.
Yeah.
But it's been 2 weeks. I don't know if we want to start talking 70. Is it the 72 Dolphins?
72 Dolphins, 14-0, perfect season. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little soon for me.
But if you're going to say some teams are garbage after 2 weeks, you're allowed to say some teams are unbelievable. Like,
yeah.
That would be Green Bay.
If you had to, again,
great.
it's super early, but if I were to rank NFC teams right now, you got to stick with 1 as Philly. You have to.
They deserve that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 2's Green Bay.
I agree.
And there's probably a big drop. Again, it's been 2 weeks, way too early, but there's a big drop into 3.
Well, one of the 2-0 NFC teams would be the Niners, and I find it interesting that Purdy is now saying he's got a chance to play. Do you think there's a part of him that is worried about Mac Jones? Like worried about like the Shanahan,
yes, and
whichever
no. Yes
quarterback
and no.
goes in there looks good, and Purdy's
Yes.
like, I got to get back in there. Yes, I got paid and all
Yes.
that, but I don't want to lose.
Right.
This is where it gets very interesting because when Mac Jones was the guy last week, I'm telling you in my head, I'm like, Mac Jones is going to go in here and ball out.
He looked good.
He's the perfect, and it's funny because you're starting to hear this online more and more about how like organizations will fail young players. Mac Jones was failed at New England.
Yes.
You have Gerard Mayo, that operation as your head coach?
and Belichick at the end.
Correct.
He was just miserable,
like
dating,
he's correct, 24-year-olds.
Yeah, like he was a mess.
He's set up to fail. Mac Jones is set up to fail in New England.
Right.
And now all of a sudden he gets to a guy, Kyle Shanahan. To me, when I think of Kyle Shanahan, I think of Kirk Cousins. That was Kirk Cousins' guy when he was in Washington, playing for the team formerly known, or the Commanders had a different name back then. And it's like everywhere he's gone, Shanahan, Matt Ryan, best years of Matt Ryan's career, Kyle Shanahan. And these are all kind of similar system-style guys. Brock Purdy is that guy. Mac Jones can be that guy. So I think what's safe for him, and this is why it's important for some of these guys to get paid what it is beyond the money, it's like, it's now a decision not only, hey, not now, but let's say this were to continue for 4 or 5 weeks and Mac Jones is really playing extremely well and Purdy's out. And you come back to the table and you're like, hey, Mac Jones is averaging 275, 280 a game. We're on an absolute heater. The question now is, can we look like idiots because we're going to have $53 million or whatever the exact number was sitting on the bench. And the front office now starts tightening those screws. Like, I don't give a damn how well Mac Jones is playing. You're going to get us all fired if Purdy is not playing.
Purdy's got to play.
So it becomes an economics thing as well.
Ooh. Well, quarterbacking and depth charts, man, that's a theme in the Canadian Football League. We're all going to be down there tomorrow night at BMO Field. We cannot wait.
I'll tell you the best part about tomorrow night is the Argos head coach, Ryan Dinwiddie. He, by far, is my favorite guy in the CFL. I hope that he's, like, real animated. You guys don't get to have him on, dude.
Oh, he's coming on.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he's coming on.
This guy is the best.
Well, what did you make of him last week? Like, after they kicked that winning field goal, and he's, like, kicking at the Elks.
Okay, there's a bit of a prelude. You got to – this guy –
Kicking at the Elks?
Dude, Partsy.
Yeah.
This guy is the best, okay?
Yeah.
4 years. I'm going to go on a.
I already know
don't
what you're
even
talking
the guy.
about. That means you've gone out with him.
No, I don't even know him.
Yeah.
I've said 3 words to the guy.
Well, we're going to say more tomorrow. He's going to join us.
You tell him, because I don't think I'm going to be there when he's joining you. You say, Luke Wilson, he's the best.
All right.
Okay.
We'll make sure
4
he knows
years. He's won 2 Grey Cups. One of the years, 3 divisions.
Mm-hmm.
One of the years he didn't win, they went 16-2 and got upset in the final.
Well,
like
Chad
franchise
Kelly
record.
was
Yes.
as bad as you could possibly be in that game.
Chad Kelly was no good.
He was horrendous.
Yes. So Dinwiddie, at the beginning of the year, he's got no Chad Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
They're losing. Everyone's dogging the Toronto Argos. And he's like, man, there's a bunch of interviews where he's like, we've got pretenders in here. We've got no dogs.
Yeah. Got to create chaos.
I remember that
He
one.
lives and breathes. Like, I can just, it seems authentic, at least to me when I see it. He's sweating after the game, and he's just mad as heck.
Yeah.
And now they've turned it around. Arbuckle, I know he's hurt, but he was in the MOP conversation.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys that he called a pretender was on Edmonton and apparently was talking smack. Now, which gets crazy, this is the only I know hockey is like this, but as a football guy, to see the teams on the same sideline is absurd. Like, you're going to see tomorrow at BMO, and there's no, like, bench to, like, you know, in hockey, there's, like, walls.
Yeah, of course.
Glass,
Like, you could just fight each other if you wanted.
Yeah. There's going to be some animosity tomorrow
So
night.
I loved it. At the end of the game, they kick the winner, and he goes over there, and guys talking smack to him all game. He starts talking smack back.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, we're gonna ask him about that.
I'm telling you, this guy is the best.
Outside of the Riders, you know, and I guess the Stampeders, I guess the Tabbies too, but it's pretty wide open, man. Like, this is a massive game tomorrow night. The Argos win tomorrow night. They've caught Montreal, and they've got a third stringer. Daigie's playing quarterback for them tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there. I'm concerned one of us is gonna get like the looking the other way and you know,
Dude, can't happen.
running back,
Can't
running out
happen.
of bounds, and like blows an Achilles out.
Are you guys hanging around with me on the sideline?
Yeah, we're like,
Yes.
don't
Noodles
worry,
are gonna
be
be
down on the sidelines.
Don't worry, boys. I'll get you right, man. We'll
I'm
keep a
worried
good eye.
about. I'm like the O-Dog's already got one shoulder, man. If he loses a kneecap tomorrow,
Oh, no,
Dude,
I'll
anybody
be your
comes
fullback.
near me, you talk about
I'll be your
kicking, I'll
fullback.
kick somebody. And you better have something planned out, whatever the hell we're doing after the first quarter or whatever we're doing.
Partsy,
Yeah.
we just got to be. So I have this mic that sits on a table. We just got to make sure the mic is pointed away from us, because when I see bad football, my head explodes. Not that it's all bad football, but just like the NFL, there's bad plays, and I just want to lose my mind. So we got to make sure that the powers that be don't hear me.
okay,
That's a big
That's
one.
fair.
yeah,
Is that
because
fair?
you guys, you're going to be on the sideline. You're there Friday Night Football, CFL on TSN. Always going to be there. Noodles will be doing stuff with you. I'm going to be kicking around. Look at
me,
the
that
three of us.
homeless guy in the middle there, and
Dude,
look at
I
Hayes.
look like
Look at this coach. I love him.
That's Dinwiddie.
That's
Dinwiddie freaking on people. Noodles looks
Me,
like, yeah,
crawls out of
there's
a
a
cave.
warrant or something out for you.
And then Biff.
Yeah, look at the
this.
O-Dog pretending like
Yeah.
he's. What are you doing? Why are you
Breathing
staring
heavy.
at people?
There he is. CFL's biggest cheerleader.
It's you. No one pumps the tires in the CFL more than Luke.
Now, I will say this, boys. You got to be heads up here, all right? Just get you in some CFL drama. So the starting quarterback for the Owls is McLeod Bethel Thompson.
Yes, of course, former Argo.
Former Argo. There's
I thought
some-
you were going to do the guy in Ottawa or Manitoba that you yell at all the time, CJOB2 or something.
Yeah. That's my guy, man.
Oh, yeah, sure it is. You yell at that guy daily.
I can't. I mean, I don't. My head's gonna explode. I can't do it. Next time, Partsy, we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll
Okay.
do that as a hit. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about a fraud. But anyways.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go to MBT. I just want to let you guys know there's some beef between TSN and MBT.
Oh,
So
yeah?
I'm gonna make. I think I'm like the arbitrator here. I got to tell him you guys have no beef with him. He's been on a TSN thing. Kind of joking, was like, man,
okay.
these guys give him no love. You guys got to make sure that you don't inherit that beef, because McLeod Bethel Thompson's unbelievable guy.
I don't see
Unbelievable
why
guy.
you would have an issue with us. He
I don't.
might.
I just want to make sure he knows that there's no beef there.
Okay.
I want you guys to know too.
Maybe beef would be better though. Maybe it's better if we have beef with him.
We're on site. That's enough. They should be fired up.
Yeah, we're
fired up to
there.
be
Argos
there.
Owls
Exactly.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Cannot wait down
You
at
guys
BMO
are hanging
Field.
on the field the whole time.
I think we're going to be
kind of bouncing all over.
O's there after the first. I'm there after the third or something like that on field. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got a schedule, and
we have a schedule. Yeah, but we're going to be there. Like, we're going to be up in a suite. We'll be, walking around.
We'll be in a suite. I'm going to be grinding down.
We're going to be grinding. We'll be in the seats too, man. There's a lot of people from TSN coming down. I think Al's brother. I don't know if Al's brother's got it in here.
Is Al's brother's coming?
There he is.
Dude, he's going to convince you to go Miami.
No, he's not. I'll bet you Al's brother loves the Argos tomorrow night. Do you love the Argos tomorrow, Al's brother, or what?
I think the Argos roll. I do. I like the Argos tomorrow night. I wish I could be there. I'm actually going out to Vancouver for the weekend, so I'm not going to be in attendance.
Okay.
But I hope they win for you guys.
What's going on in Vancouver?
Atmosphere. When they're blowing teams out, it's great.
It's great.
Card show? Just going on a little buddies trip.
Ooh.
Actually, there is a card show that I might take a peek at while I'm there.
Wow.
But we're going to see a couple of buddies going down.
There you go. Then you can write it off. Write off the whole trip because you went there to work.
There you go. Exactly.
I like that, Al's brother. All right, the spread on FanDuel tonight. It has not budged all week. Bills minus 11.5. I'm getting some deja vu here, Al's brother. So take me through where your headspace is at with this game tonight.
Just go ahead.
Well, it's such a big spread, short week, divisional game. Like, all signs do point to taking the Dolphins in this spot. It could be a trap game for the Bills after 2 big wins. Guys, like, the injury report, it doesn't favor them. No Ed Oliver, no Matt Milano. But there is one guy that will be playing, and his name is Josh Allen.
Right.
You know who owns the Dolphins? Josh Allen. You know who's won 6 straight games and 9-1 the last 10 games against the Finns? Josh Allen. 6-0 at home over that stretch, I might add, and they won by a total or by an average of 14.3 points, which is far more than the 11.5 on the spread here. You have to take the Bills in this spot. And more importantly, guys, JP, play it, please. I think the Finns are frauds.
Yes.
That's all I need to say.
You're
the
right, Al's
Finns
brother.
are frauds. They gave up 30 points to Danny Dimes. They did not stop him once. The Colts literally went and had a scoring drive on every single drive in week 1. Drake May went up, put 30 points against that defense in week 2. They're horrendous offensively. Tua, he doesn't even think he belongs in this game. He thinks that he's not even an NFL quarterback compared to Josh Allen. I don't know where his teammates feel about that, but it's just brutal. I mean, good luck stopping that offense. Their defense is terrible. Bills by $1 billion. We got to take the points here.
I'm with you on that, man. This is, like I said, deja vu. There was a game last year, I believe it was. The Jacksonville Jaguars were walking into Buffalo on a short week, and we're like, they're 0-2. This is desperate. They've got to get it done. And stupidly, we took the Jags, and they got pumped. They lost like 42-7 or something.
Yep.
This is the same scenario. This is it for McDaniel. He's lost the room. Their defense stinks.
It's the blowout of blowouts,
yes,
man.
the
I'll
Bills,
tell you this.
Bills roll tonight.
Our only
Lay
hope,
the points.
our only hope is if McDermott does something weird at like the half situationally, and it's only a 17-point lead. And somehow the Dolphins get the ball with like 1:36 and punch one in.
It is possible that can happen.
Listen,
it's possible that can happen for sure.
I would have taken the Bills. I
think you got to lay. I'd rather like this is
Bills.
a scenario, Alice, brother. You and I were talking about it today. Like I'd rather. You can't overthink this one. It's just the Bills are going to win. They're at home. The Dolphins stink.
And if they don't, you live with the pick.
You live with the pick. Exactly. 100%. If they win by 7 or 10, you're like, all right,
you got
for the Dolphins. We got jammed up. But the play is in.
Yeah, we're gonna need Josh Allen to spit on someone before the game in order to
not liking the chances.
That's still the funniest thing I think of this year in the group chat. When it was like you guys took Philly and Jalen Carter spits on someone before the game.
Right before.
No, it's 30 seconds in.
Yeah, exactly. Protest. We're still waiting for the results on that.
There was one play, a guy got injured, and then it panned to the guy spitting. It was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, ejected. I'm like, what just happened? That was absurd.
What just happened is me and Partsy just covered. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's precisely how the season started.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Al's brother, I love that pick. Right? Tomorrow we're going to have more picks, right? We got a 3-pack. We got some big games on Sunday, man. We'll get into it tomorrow, but Kansas City must win against the Giants.
Well, the Giants, I mean, they have to.
They're going to win.
You think
they're
so?
going to lose that? What if Brian
man.
Dable coaches the game of his life? He coaches them to
What does that even look like?
Russ,
I don't even know if he
Malik
knows.
Neighbors, Brian Dable, that's a 3-pack, man. That's a trifecta of performance.
Yeah.
I still
We'll
can't
see.
believe that dude put up 450 and lost. Russ put up 450 last week, and they lost the football game.
Unbelievable.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, we'll get to those games tomorrow. Great seeing you, Partsy. Great pick. Great analysis. As always, enjoy Vancouver. Safe travels. Say hi to everyone out there when it comes to cards and cruises and charcuteries and everything on the West Coast. There's Al's brother.
I will.
Luke will catch
Go
you
Bills.
down tomorrow. Go Bills. BMO Field tomorrow. Argos
wait.
Alouettes.
Dude.
OverDrive live from
Enjoy
the sideline.
Dinwiddie. That guy's electric.
Dinwiddie's going to be great.
He's electric.
We
man.
got you coming on the show tomorrow. We got Keith Pelly coming on tomorrow. We're going to be.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Pelly's coming on.
Pelly's coming on.
You
We're
guys
going to
gonna
ask him about Bills and Argos.
You
Bills
gonna
and
ask him
Argos.
about it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll get into a number of things with Keith. We're looking forward to that tomorrow down at BMO Field. All right. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Dear Hazy B later this hour. Today, again, a constant theme is who is playing with who on day one of training camp throughout the NHL. And you guys see who Mitch Marner's on a line with, who he's down there skating with in Vegas.
Pretty good one. Barbashev, Eichel.
Barbashev and Eichel. Pretty good line. Pretty good line.
Barbashev's a good player, too.
Yeah.
He's a heavy player. Like, they've got that Dorofeev and Barbashev. Like, they're Vegas pretty deep team. I was looking at them. They've got some skill there. If Stone can stay healthy, too, right? Like, that's the biggest challenge there. Their third line looks pretty good, too. Got Riley Smith kicking around there. That William Karlsson on the third line.
Day oneers, both of them.
Yeah, exactly. I think Smith took less to stay there, right? Like I think he signed like a couple million a year type of thing. And then Brandon Saad is a guy who, resurgence in his career, right? Came from St. Louis, I think, on waivers.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Good.
But those are guys who are, pretty long in the tooth. They've been in the league for a long time. It's a veteran team out there. That's generally the best teams. Florida's an old team, right?
Yep.
Like Vegas is an old team. Edmonton's an old team. The
Yep.
Leafs are an old team. Generally, if you're a competitive team that's been competitive for a while, you get a lot of older players.
Yeah.
But, I guess Marner was asked, like, day one, who's going to score because they're all kind of playmakers. Eichel's a playmaker. Eichel's capable of scoring, and Mitch can score.
Yeah.
But
I think Eichel he'll be the shooter on that line, don't you think? He's got a good shot, too. Like, that Eichel's a good player.
Oh, he's a great player. He's a great
Right,
player.
great
I mean,
player.
it's a great setup for Marner. Like, Marner goes from Matthews to Eichel. There's not much of a drop-off there.
Yeah.
If at all.
Right.
On any given night, there may not be.
Yeah,
So.
no, you're right. And that Barbashev gives the guy who will go and get the puck. Big body, physical.
I love that
type.
Barbashev, man. He's he is a beast out there.
Yeah, he
Russian
is.
player, man.
Big, strong
Love
guy.
him.
Yeah, they're gonna miss Pietrangelo on the back end though. Like he's great leader, great puck mover, all of that type of stuff. So, Vegas will have to adapt without him. But they're a strong team, really well coached as well.
Yeah, they're in it every single year.
Yeah.
Every single year they're in it. As for the day one of Leafs camp, Craig Berube, obviously he's happy that Core 4 is gone, but it's going to be pretty consistent in terms of what happens with this Matthews line, and we've talked about it a lot this week, and Michelli gets the first look, and I'm curious to see what he's got. Like, I don't know enough about him. I know the points, and he's not a very big guy, and I'm always a little bit hesitant to jump to conclusions when a team like Utah moves off a player like that, and Utah really hasn't done anything in like a decade, and they're moving off him. But what an opportunity. And as I thought what Tree Living said the other day, is a really important way to look at it and a very good way to look at it, that it's about fitting. It's about finding someone that just fits that line. It's not about a specific point total or a specific left shot, right shot, size component, what have you. It's who can you find that fits, because the other two guys are locked in. Nyes and Matthews. You got to find one guy. You're not finding two guys to play with Austin.
Yeah.
You just got to find
He might
one.
only be there just because Domi's not. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It might be just a fill-in thing, but
Well,
I'm curious to see what he can do.
And there's no guarantee that Domi is the guy there. He might fit in. Michelli might fit in. They might find somebody else that, they're going to move around there. Maybe it's McMahon or, McMahon's left shot. I don't know if you play the right side, all of that. But I think you have to you have to keep an open mind if you're Craig Berube. You just don't go, okay, it's Domi's place because he's played with Matthews and Nyes before. What if Domi's just not available or not, at this stage of his career, good enough to play there as far as defensively or whatever? Like there was a time where last year this guy was kind of up and down the lineup too, right? Domi,
he didn't have a great regular season.
Yeah,
and he's 30. Like Max is he's not a young guy.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like you've kind of once you're 10 years into the league, it's pretty determined kind of who you are and what you can do.
Yeah.
So it's a massive opportunity. It's a massive opportunity for someone to step in there.
Yeah, and I don't think Tree's done either. I don't. He's been quite honest about what looking at the market and all that. I think he.
What do you think he would be looking for, Noodles? Like, is it Nazem Kadri or is it?
No, well, I mean, listen, Nazem Kadri would be a great find for a lot of teams, but he's got term.
Him and Rasmus Anderson, Tree, make that happen, please.
Okay, well, the asking price going back is not going to be Joe from the Bridge.
But that's an old
Al's
school
brother.
deal where you just go all in and say, just get them both and let's go.
Okay, but that's it's Easton Cowan and it's something else. Like it's I think that's a big price to pay. Like Rasmus Anderson is a top pairing defenseman. He would be probably the number one defenseman on the Leafs if he was traded here today. No, he wouldn't. He would be because he's a right shot Morgan Riley, but he's offensive, he's physical, all that type of stuff. Like I think, it would be a great acquisition. And Nazem Kadri, you guys know what he's capable of.
Well, I guess Naz was talking about it today, a camp that Hockey Canada said he's on the long list of options, and he said, I guess that's all you can ask for.
That means if some three guys get injured, you might have a sniff.
Yeah.
But you still probably won't get called.
I don't think he's going to make it just where he is in his career, and he's never really been on that radar. He's had great years. Obviously, the year he won the Cup in Colorado, he would have been sniffing around. They would have had to at least look at him for sure. He was great that season.
He was unreal.
Yeah, he was incredible, and he's still a really good player that can put up numbers. But he's 33 or whatever. I don't think Canada's radar is going to go that deep.
No,
where Naz is going to be, on the Olympic team. But it's still a feather in his cap that someone called him and said, "Hey, we know what you're all about, right? And we're pulling for you. So go do your thing this year."
Offices are right in the backyard there in Calgary. Hockey Canada based out of there. I mean, they've watched him enough. They know exactly what he's capable of. So, I think there will be. You've said it along. There's going to be some teams that think they're good today, and then 6 weeks from now, going, okay, let's be realistic. So we'll make some players available. That's where I think there'll be some teams sniffing around to continue to add. Hayes, you talked about older teams maybe wanting to get a little younger and add some depth or some players that can play in your top six. I think Toronto would be one of them. I think Edmonton would be. I think there's other teams, maybe Colorado. Like, you look at it, the teams that want to be right at the top of the standings, I still think they're not a finished product yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And although we're talking about it maybe happening early, Noodles, it's probably not. Like, no team, no GM is quitting on their team 6 days into a season. And then we actually do suck. They might know it, but they're not going to be like, okay, who do you want now?
Yeah, I said 6 weeks, but I'm talking maybe it's it might be Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, November, December. You start to look at your cap space. You start to look at players. Maybe there's an injury that you've got to shield against or whatever, that type of stuff. Like, there'll be some movement. There was none this summer, none. And I'd like to see a whole list of PTOs. Florida's bringing out 4 or 5, but outside of that,
it's interesting the Leafs didn't offer a PTO to anybody.
Nobody.
They're usually high on that.
They love a PTO. Man, they love the PTO in the
and signing a PTO, like a guy that's like a backdoor deal where it's like you're going to be on the team.
Yeah. Like Lorentz was that. Pacioretty's been that. Yeah, they've done that a lot over the years. Where
did Patches go to camp anywhere? I don't think he did.
I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so either.
There's still RFAs that need deals.
Roslovic doesn't have a deal.
Roslovic had a pretty good year last year.
I think he's a good player. But, again, what is he asking for? Obviously, he's not accepting a PTO because he'd be at a camp. I guarantee you somebody's offered him a PTO.
Yeah.
But there's is it Gresselick, too, the defensive? I see that he got a PTO
I think
somewhere.
He did, yeah. I think he did.
I read that, too.
But you're right. I got to think with Roslovic it's about term because, teams with all these names that could get out there, from McDavid, Eichel, the Kaprizov, the Connor to, there's a bunch of them. Do you want to lock in on a guy that you're uncertain of where you got to give him 2 or 3 years and then that takes away your flexibility next summer? I'm not sure you want to do that. I would think if he's willing to accept a 1-year deal, he'd sign it by now and he's in camp and someone's willing to give that.
Yeah.
Maybe Tree Living and the Leafs just don't like him. I don't know. Maybe it's just not the guy that they have interest in. But if it were a 1-year deal at $4 million or something, they have that kind of flexibility. They have that money. You'd think they'd give it to him and give it a shot.
They do, but here's the counter to that, Hayes. That $4 million. If player X is available to you halfway through the season and he's a $6 million player, you need that money.
And I appreciate that, and I like that idea because the Leafs are very rarely ever in that position where they have that flexibility. Right. They're always trying to accrue money and move pieces around and waive guys.
They've been creative over the last.
I think if Roslovic wanted to sign with anybody for $2 million, kind of that start over deal, I think he'd be signed right now.
I know, but you guys know what we're talking about here, right? Smallish skill, not exactly heavy.
Yeah.
Like, you really want to wheel that in there? I don't know.
Thing is if you feel like your team, like Toronto, when you look at some of the forwards are big. Like he could find a spot. Michelli's not a big guy, so Roslovic could find his spot in a top 6 potentially. Their right shot, but again, if he wants $4 million, I think you look past him. Like you might like the player, you might not love him, and he might not be a perfect fit for your program. So, it'd be interesting to see what he is asking for because that's a player that I think would garner a little bit more interest than what we're seeing right now. So maybe the ask is too high, Hayes. You said it might be, hey, he wants a 3-year deal at $3 million or something, and teams are like, we're going to save our money or save our term for other players, other options. But if he said I'll play on a 1 year at a low term and maybe with some bonus money or something, I think he'd be signed by now.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, camps are open. This is one where I'd be freaking out if I was the player, thinking, what the hell's going on here? Like, what's the next step? You're going to Europe?
Well,
I can't imagine that.
I don't think he's going to Europe. The next step is when you tell your agent do something because I got to get in camp.
Well, it's got to happen in the next week or so, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Like games start on the weekend, and then all of a sudden, GMs start seeing their players, and they're like, I don't really need you.
Exactly. Young
like the leverage is clearly in the side of the teams now because the player would have to be desperate.
Agreed.
But the Leafs have a pretty good, I think, balance of size and then smaller skill guys. Like a Michelli, like a Domi, like a Robertson, like a Cowan. And I don't know where Cowan fits in. I'm not convinced he makes the team. I think he'll probably play with the Marlies. But if you balance that out, Matthews and Nyes are massive. Put in a smaller guy. Willie and Tavares are of a decent size. You got Joshua and Wall. Those are big boys.
Yep.
You can afford to maybe have a smaller player in there.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
so,
you can do that for sure.
I think they have enough size where you can get away with smaller skill and kind of blend it into your roster. All right, best bets coming up. Dear Hazy B, OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Everybody get your roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year, life goes on. Haven't let the thing.
All right, today's best bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You know where we're going with this. Bills laying the points, 11.5 tonight. Josh Allen, anytime goals or touchdown score tonight. And Devon Achane, 50-plus yards rushing tonight. That parlay paying plus 440. They do have some offensive weapons, and there are some defensive pieces missing in Buffalo. So I could see it being a high-scoring game. I just think Buffalo is going to score 40-plus points and cover and win.
Yeah.
So there's your parlay. Best bets powered by FanDuel. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is the exclusive home of the OverDrive same-game parlay. Please play responsibly, 18+, physically located in Ontario. All right, Thursday afternoon. Going to mix it up because we're at BMO tomorrow, right? Going to have a lot going on tomorrow. We got a bunch of Argos coming by. We got Keith Pelly coming by. Luke's coming by. It's supposed to be a beautiful night. Sticking around for the game. CFL on TSN. It's going to be amazing tomorrow. Let's fire up a little Dear Hazy B.
People send in a tweet. They write us for our professional advice on life things. Dear Hazy B, every morning my boiler has a gas leak. My wife thinks it's the baby.
Dear Hazy B.
If you want to come to Hazy B, I need honesty from you.
Hazy, you got dumped a lot. Tell me. Tell him.
Grown adults with birthdays, it's asinine.
All right. Dear Hazy B, brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza.
Dear Hazy B, heading down to the Argos game tomorrow and bringing my girlfriend for our first official date.
Nice.
Well, how's she your girlfriend
Yeah,
already?
that's exactly. How would that? This guy's an idiot already.
And hoping to meet you guys. I'm wondering if there's a chance you'd be able to pump my tires in front of her to make a good first impression. I'll mention this story and you'll know exactly who I am. Really need your help on this, fellas. Johnny boy in Toronto.
No,
right,
John,
Johnny.
I'm not pumping your tires.
Like, what are we going to say? Like, hey, Johnny's a stud?
I know. Like, how would we possibly pretend as if we know who you are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what if you're...
Look how cool John dresses.
Yeah. Hey, John. And if you introduce her as your girlfriend and it's your first date, guess what's going to happen? She could be running across the field faster than Pinball Clemens.
Wow. Well, we should give him a little. We could help with the process.
How would
maybe?
we possibly help? How do you think the three of us are capable of being matchmakers?
If
and
we knew the guy, possibly. It's not like we're going to say, hey, John, you're the coolest, man. All those nights we partied together.
We better be careful because the doogie is kicking around, All of a sudden the doogie might be paired up.
I see what you mean. You're talking about Doogie might come in and sandbag and start mowing this guy's lawn if we don't pump his tires, or we start pumping Doogie's tires instead of John's.
I don't know.
I'm siding with Doogie. Like
exactly.
You gotta be
Doogie can just get the Batman cologne vapes out and just who knows what kind of damage he can do.
It's a good question, Doogie. You'll be down there tomorrow. What does the open air cologne play? Like, because it's tough.
It different than your office that you reek up the whole hallway?
I always wear a couple, boys. So there's a mixture around. We know this.
I know, but you got
it. In my life.
I've never heard of multiple colognes.
Drakkar Noir, and what's the other one? Brute 33? What is it?
That gets the job done, Noodles. That's class.
Is that not normal? I assume other people do this.
I don't think two at the same time. Is that what you're saying?
No.
You wear
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Like a mixture, like a cocktail of cologne?
Exactly what I'm saying.
That's really weird, dude. I got to be honest.
That is very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
I've never heard of that play before. But the open air, I don't like. You're gonna have so much cologne on tomorrow because outside, if it's windy at all, no one can pick up on the cologne or no one knows where it's coming from.
We'll give John a little bit of love. Let's see.
All right, fine. Come on down, John. Come on down to BMO tomorrow night. We're gonna be down there. We're looking forward to seeing everybody. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but if you yell, "Hey, it's me, John," you got to be a little cooler than that.
Exactly.
You can't pull that move off.
No,
you got to be. You got to be a little bit more sleek than that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we've got the Thursday nighter tonight. The Jays losing today. They're off to Kansas City tomorrow. Yankees are in action. They got a 4-game series against Baltimore. Jays are still in a good place.
Yeah, they
are. 3.5 up on the Yankees. Even the Yankees win tonight. You got a 3-game lead with 9 games to go. I get it. There have been struggles in the past, and it's never done until it's done. But I think you got to have some pretty significant levels of confidence at this point.
Have some faith.
That the
Let's have some faith.
That the Blue Jays are going to win the American League East.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we'll have
just
lots
pump
of faith.
out a couple more dubs and it's game over.
Yeah, exactly. Go into Kansas City, take 2 of 3, and you're basically home. Basically home. You got 9 left, 3 against Kansas City, 3 against Boston, 3 against Tampa, 6-game homestand to finish the year, right? And ideally, you get it done as quickly as you can. So then you can start working out your rotation. You can start resting guys. You can give Hoffman a rest.
Yep.
Give Rodriguez Little a rest. You give Dominguez a rest. You let everyone just kind of figure out where they're going to slot in. And Trey Savage is going to start on Sunday. So they could clinch as of Saturday. Everyone parties, and then the kid goes out there Sunday. He could pitch you a gem and push you that much closer to winning the American League. So everything's all good. All right, day 2 of camps, too, for the Leafs tomorrow on the ice. So we'll tee that up tomorrow. We'll look ahead to the weekend. They start playing games as of Sunday night. We got football. We got baseball. We got hockey. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to be great down at BMO Field. Don't forget, we're going to be down there tomorrow. Tickets still available. Get down to see us. Come down and watch the game. Argos, Alouettes, CFL on TSN. We cannot wait for it. All right, thanks to everyone behind the scenes. for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
4 p.m.
We'll chat then.